Okay, my dear friends, this is what I want to share with you right now, and this means a lot to me because this is about breathwork and emotions. This video is part of my brand new breathwork course, Breathing Alive, coming out very, very soon. Go ahead and check out breathingalive.com for a 50% discount to my mailing list. The website will be up in the next few days. Now in this course, we're looking at all the guided sessions which have helped me completely transform my life. I'm talking emotional health, I'm talking physical health, I'm talking my spiritual growth and journey. Have a beautiful day, guys, and keep enjoying the rest of this video. I started off doing breathwork, chasing a state of clarity, of physical performance, of recovery, and also just out of curiosity because it was starting to create physical changes and tingling sensation and all these even visual experiences. But I soon realized that things were coming up with a lot more weight to them, which grounded me much more in a true version of myself, which I had lost connection to or I had never even known existed. And that's exactly where the emotions come into play. Now, what I want to beautifully Van Gogh with you guys here is, this is me. I want you to imagine that we're all holding on to the earth here. It's our connection to the earth, the umbilical to Mother Nature. This body is our first grounds, and it is what we're experiencing all of our experiences in. No matter how mental an experience is, we always return to the body. So that's why we have these attachments and aversions. We have our likes and our dislikes, this yin and yang of I like this, I don't like this, and we all have this personal approach to life. Now that's completely normal. And as a result of that, we have these stored experiences, right? Like we don't like certain things, and sometimes that's something very small, but sometimes that's something big. We have these traumas, right? Now, traumas themselves don't need to be super massive, right? But they can be, and we all will experience some traumatic events in our life. Even just the passing of a loved one is a very, very traumatic event for even a grown person, especially for younger people, but it's just a heavy blow to the human being. Now, I want you to imagine that we're hugging this earth, and when we're doing these breathwork sessions, what we're really doing is we're cycling that energy. Now what happens when we do this is that all of our stored experiences and the meaning that we create with those stored experiences, so our likes and dislikes, that personal identity we create around that, I had to sneak peek there, is what we bring up in these cycles. Now, everything happens in these cycles, right? There's things that we like, there's joy, bliss, ecstasy, but there's anger, there's hatred, there's feelings of revenge, there's feelings, all these more shadow side feelings also are cycling through. So what we're doing with these breathwork sessions is we're really just taking care that that flow is simply flowing and that we can create a sense of distance so that even the things that we're afraid of, the deepest shadow sides, can flow through us without having such an impact. Because if we say, yeah, I can flow here, but if I say this stuff right here, this big chunk of earth in front of me, this dark thing, I don't like that, so I don't want that in my cycle. What I do is I try to create a flow and then go, oh, no, not there, there, bam. And now there's space for other people to come into our personal space to attach themselves. Other people will fill that maybe with positive things, but maybe with negative things. And that's what creates these cycles of dependency on external circumstances. So what I really, really want you to visualize is as we're doing these breathwork sessions is to create this ball of lights, to create, even imagine yourself just hugging Mother Earth, all of it, like a big tree trunk, and just breathing through it, knowing that all of the stories and the meaning we've created like that is perfectly fine. Now, all of this together, all of those cycles, bada-bada-bam, is what creates emotion. I thought this was a dramatic flip, so I had to include it in this video. I'm having fun with this one, guys. That's what creates emotion, energy in motion. And energy in motion, this principle of this core nucleus moving in all directions, this dance, this movement in our life comes from the Latin word emovere. Now, emovere, there's a bunch of different translations, but what I've picked up is that it's to be moved by, to move through, and to stir up. That is the idea of emotions, is that we are moved by something in the water. Something is in the water. Now that is why I have this beautiful cup of water. And what happens is in these breathwork sessions, as we breathe through these cycles and just look at it from a plain state of being, what we have is a huge opportunity, my friends. And the opportunity is, I'm not going to drink this, the opportunity is as we shake this up, bam, 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 bam. As we shake this up, what we can see is with the breath work, we're bringing up these things, and now I see, wow, do I really need all of this muck in my water? Do I really need those stones? I'm not sure if you can see them. Now, obviously, I don't want to paint a negative picture. This is a pretty dark glass of water, but I just grabbed some earth, and just because I thought this was a cool example. But what I wanted you to think about is just a glass of water, and there's always movement in the water, right? There's always movement in life. Otherwise, we have stagnation, and from stagnation, ultimately, there is collapse of any system. So there's always a movement. Now, if you could imagine me dropping a little bit of watercolor or something in there, what I suddenly see, what I don't see in the plain water, in the clear water, with the water, suddenly the movement becomes apparent. Now, with that light that I'm bringing onto it, with the light of awareness that I'm shining upon that, boom, whoever just shot me that idea, that's fantastic. Thank you. Arigato. What happens is that I get to see what's in the water. And maybe there's some stones and some sticks and some things and some chains that I don't need anymore. And that's simply the first step to changing what our water glass looks like, what in the end we're always cycling back home through our navel, through our connection to Mother Earth. We get to see, hey, I don't need to have those cycles of pain anymore. I can see what's happening here, and I can see that I'm allowing this to happen. So, let me just say, no, thank you. I don't need that anymore. I'm aware of this. I respect that fully, but I can say, I'm okay without it because I can fill that up myself with something new, because we get to choose what we pour into the glass to a large extent. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to life than what we can choose, and there's a lot of things which get thrown into our glass, and it's natural that we always, no matter how much we cover, there's always a little bit of an opening here and there. There's a natural connection to the outside world, and we can't be fully closed off. Neither is it healthy. But what I want us to be aware of is that the breathwork sessions are a really, really beautiful opportunity to make sure that what we're cycling here, what we're receiving, and actually also giving out, what we're acting as a purifying mechanism for ourself and our connection to the world, first and foremost, but then to the world at large. Because people are going to always throw stones at us, no matter how much of a Dalai Lama we are. People are always going to throw shade at us. But what matters is that there's a beautiful saying, right, from the Buddha, which is, we don't always get to choose the first arrow which is drawn, but our reaction, the second arrow, is something we can impact. So it is our opportunity in these breathwork sessions to simply, I'm like displaying this to Sotheby's right now. It is in our opportunity in these breathwork sessions to simply choose what is flowing through our river, or at least choose the second arrow, which is, what do I identify with and what can I simply lay to rest and let pass by? That is our opportunity with emotions. So I want to go ahead and say the last conclusive remark is that as I started this off, this was really not about emotions for me, but I soon realized that sometimes simply sitting with the emotion and really feeling with it, even sometimes bathing in it, which is not always the smartest thing, but sometimes just feeling that intensity of rawness, of just pure potential as it is, and noticing my connection to that, my story to that, the mirror that it presented for me, is something which ultimately is so much more of a grounding force than always trying to get around emotions, trying to dodge things. Breathwork sessions and emotions. Now, I hope for you that this created some clarity and that your glass is a lot clearer than this. And yes, thank you guys so much. On to the next video. Much love.